Welcome back to another episode of the Blockburner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's going on, dude?
And on the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
And no one is joining us today. We're just going to freestyle it.
Free ball?
Yeah.
Free ball Saturday?
Yes.
It's Saturday, right?
It is Saturday.
Okay, good. So we're free balling it, and I think we're like toying with the idea of maybe adding a second like podcast in the week. It's not.
Oh boy.
So we can free ball more frequently, right?
Well, actually, you know, the interviews are very interesting.
No, I know, but that's the point.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're very interesting, so we want to keep having them.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's a lot of value to be had for us, like digesting what is happening in the space.
Free balling with friends.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's a great podcast title.
It is.
Yeah, but that's not.
Should we rebrand?
Well, maybe. So most likely this like free ball slot will be on a Wednesday, right?
No, not Wednesday.
Why not?
It would have to be Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday.
No, like when it's actually posted is what I mean.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because it's like we got 20-minute videos, right? Like typically 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Ideally 4 a week, and a podcast every Saturday. But we're thinking about adding a second podcast, which is just us frolicking around in our own little studio here.
In the hot tub.
No hot tubs. We're gonna stay dry during these events, and just I don't know. We gotta like decompress a little bit in the sense like unpackage.
Yeah.
Like what's happening, right? And
there's a lot of stuff happening, and a lot of stuff happens, and we don't talk about it just because it just doesn't fit the schedule.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's more talking is more good.
Yeah, so maybe we will. So 2 podcasts a week. I don't know if you guys care or not, but that's on the horizon. But yeah, we're doing a lot of. I don't know, like the news update is like we've been over the last month. I'd say like literally been. I don't know. I don't even know what to label this, dude. It's. We probably should have taken LSD or something at some point.
What?
Seriously. Because we're trying to like figure out some serious shit, I would say.
Some DMT. That's what I heard was how you read the Matrix.
Yeah, but Watson and Crick, dude. Steve Jobs.
Oh, LSD. Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah, because apparently, I wouldn't know. It helps you like unlock a higher dimensional, like thinking capacity. Right now, you can kind of approach different problems you're trying to solve. With some wider context. So the point is, we've been really tussling. Dude, you don't have to be in there. Dude, get out of there. That's a distraction.
No, I'm listening, dude.
No, dude.
You don't know how to like multitask?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Which is exactly why I'm toying around with the idea of taking LSD, dude. Because I need that other dimensional plane to like really figure out what's going on here, dude, with this AI stuff.
Yeah, I hear you, dude.
Yeah, the AI essentially has like really adjusted a lot of things in my brain, right?
I've been sounding the alarm since ChatGPT 3.0.
I hear you.
That was the first release of ChatGPT, by the way.
Like October 2022 days?
2022, yeah.
Yeah, I remember all of us like we were definitely taken aback, and it's like what's happening here? So that was like AI's Netscape moment, right? Where all of a sudden we all became aware that this
AI was actually a real thing, not some concept or theory or some
like
research project.
Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
It's like something we all need to like factor into our like expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fast forward to today. Now, like the entire crypto market is being consumed by essentially ChatGPT wrappers and other large language models.
Yeah.
Injecting what crypto does so nicely and so well is this like token alignment mechanisms to, I don't know, achieve a lot of things, right? Like in AI 16's use cases, bring a lot of developers together to start to contribute towards adding this contextualization layer for AI called the blockchain, right?
Yeah. I remember I'm looking at this token and let's see how it's performing. It's actually not too crazy. But I remember when ChatGPT came out, well, the first thing that we did is like, let's see if there's any crypto projects leveraging AI already.
Yeah, there weren't many, right?
No, there wasn't. And this was one of them that we found.
Yeah, that was around the days where like all over Twitter, people were posting, like these like half naked chicks that are like super realistic looking.
Oh yeah.
Well, because what was that? Stable diffusion.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they're all using that to generate this, and it's like, how are they doing this for one?
Yeah, it looked so real.
Yeah, except for the fingers.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was bad. But who cares about that, right?
I care.
They had fingers?
I'm a finger guy. Are you guys not?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay, well, maybe it's just me, dude. Fingers matter, dude. But nonetheless, that was like, so yeah, how is this happening for one?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, so I guess what's going to happen from here? Because I guess it was obvious that like at some point this AI stuff was going to find its like intersection with crypto, right?
Yeah, and then Midjourney came out soon after that. They can generate pretty cool images. And Stable Diffusion was the one making all these like really high fidelity images, like with these females and all that.
Yeah. So we did a little bit of investigation into all these different, AI apps and understanding, the large language models behind them. Right. So it's like, okay. And then we found Bitensor, this idea of like a decentralized or distributed node network of like GPU contributors, essentially.
Yeah.
Trying to essentially achieve the same things that is achievable by like higher concentrated, tech efforts like OpenAI or XAI. But without those like, concerning vectors of centralization, right? Can you achieve similar output in a distributed network?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the more interesting finds that we've had.
Yeah, so we found it and we're like, okay, well then this must be it, right? This is if there is going to be like an AI bubble in crypto, it's got to come from this. Was the prediction?
Yeah, there was another project, Singularity and Oceans Protocol. Yeah. And yeah, so that was the early days of AI, and now all of a sudden, now with the proliferation of API calls to these technologies, all of a sudden we got crypto AI projects.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess so that was an obvious thing that was going to happen, but I guess so the narrative that we weren't expecting was like the autonomous agentic economy. That's what took me by surprise. I wasn't really expecting that. So that feels like the killer app of like what this
of Web3 AI.
Yeah. This new idea of like expanding this the participant pool almost like infinitely, as long as we give them the right financial infrastructure and like we train them, I guess, responsibly. I don't know. We refine their purpose and tasks individually so that they actually do good results or output good results. And then yeah, that's crazy when you start to think about that, like how that can really disrupt and change a lot of things, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're doing is trying to figure out what the next meta is going to be in the context of AI. Like in the NFT realm in 2021, we were in Decentraland. We were seeing like all these assets, NFT assets kind of like start. And we were wondering, like, how are we going to get retail interested in NFTs? And
That's true. I remember those days.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, this whole PFP thing kind of exploded.
Yeah.
And so, like, what is the PFP version of AI?
Yeah, I guess it started before even PFP. It just started with like digital art collectibles, right? That was like a movement in itself. Like a lot of these like, I don't know, lesser known artists started to like flood into the NFT space because, there was vectors of monetization there, like OpenSea or Nifty Gateway, Super Rare, whatever, right? I can sell my art.
Yeah.
And now there's like a speculative market around that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So like, AI is good. AI agents are very interesting, but what is going to be the killer, like Cambrian explosion of like, I don't know, like how to label that, consumer interest, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember Beeple. You didn't know who that was, but I knew.
Yeah.
And as soon as he came into the NFT space, I knew that was like a big deal just because he had like a 15-year track record of making content every single day.
Yeah.
And then that's really kind of what ignited everybody.
One of the things. Yeah.
Well, I guess one of the things. Yeah.
Yeah. So these things, you're not going to really know like a mania is happening, I guess, whenever we're like in the thick of it,
Yeah.
But but like looking back, you're gonna really like, question like how the hell did we actually do that?
Yeah, but that's part of the training course of this podcast is we need to understand like what might be the ignition of a mania.
Not just ignition, but like signs to look out for that things maybe are like a little too frothy or overly
Yeah.
I don't know, ambitious. I don't know what the word is, but where things get a little out of hand. So obviously like price action is a big like reflection of that.
Well, we're starting to see elements of that, right? There's a project that's an AI project that's releasing a robot. At least that's what they say they are for $420,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. My gut instinct was that feels like if I were to make predictions down the like earlier, I would have assumed like, you know, um just like robots in the real world with like I don't know, all these like crypto agent frameworks and stuff, like people making like dance videos of robots and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the top.
That would feel like a top signal of some kind. Right.
Yeah, or I guess.
But at the same time, like, this whole robotics industry is like deeply ingrained into like AI progress. So,
well, for sure.
Yeah. So it's not really like anything ridiculous, right?
No. But when they start recording videos of robots like paying for things, like there's like a screen on the palm of their hand to show a QR code to pay for stuff. I feel like
that.
I don't know. Maybe there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if we have like agentic, autonomous like avatars running around the metaverse, why can't we have like autonomous bots?
No, we absolutely can. But when there's a project really pushing that narrative, like
this cycle, is like too soon for that, or what?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Other top signals, of course, the top signals of last cycle were like when major corporations were like just spilling in.
Yeah. Right. They were also like memeing on Twitter too.
Yeah, like Facebook and like Pepsi.
Yeah.
And like just big corporate like KFC, Taco Bell, whatever. All of a sudden they're speaking like crypto bro.
Yeah.
And they're like trying to vibe with the culture and stuff. That was, looking back, that was definitely a top indicator, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So what is the AI version of that?
I mean, we constantly think about this and we haven't figured it out.
Yeah. Well, we're not. Yeah. We have to think about
who
this.
would be talking about AI that shouldn't be talking about AI?
Yeah, but again, in the context of like what AI is and the impact of it,
like literally everything.
Everybody at some point will be talking about it.
Yeah, I know.
So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to gauge where we are in the market, I think. But we have a lot of reliable like historical context, right? The main one being Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like 4-year, very predictable rhythmic cycle. So typically like the broader crypto ecosystem aligns with that, right?
Yeah. So we had a major dipping. I guess you want to call this major. I mean, think about that. It was at 102, and then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, it was at 91.
It's pretty major.
And I mean, if you look at it, it's like that's not that big of a deal.
What's that? You hear that?
Yeah.
Is that me or you?
I don't know.
It's got to be Will because I hear it.
Hold on. What is happening?
I think you're still in the Matrix, dude.
Oh, am I?
No, you're not in the Matrix. You're in Bitmap Emporium. Wow, he activated music, dude.
Oh, damn, he did.
Wow.
See, that's why I'm in the metaverse, dude. You can't predict what happens here.
Go click on one of his buttons, dude. Unpause. Doesn't work. Resume. Does work. Pause. That's so cool. Dude, this guy's literally doing the damn thing, dude.
What a choice of a song, though.
Well, I mean, that definitely makes me feel like gambling, does it not, you?
You guys trying to test it? Will's just it's like, not today, dude.
Poor guy, dude. He's just trying to build in the metaverse. You're bullying him. Look, you like stopped. I bet you he's typing out right now. He's like, "Can you stop? Can you not?" Look, he's like running circles around you. He's like, "You, how dare you?" You know,
this is my land, not yours.
Yeah. How do you stop griefing in the metaverse, dude?
Yeah, you can't.
What if all of a sudden he just started like, erecting pictures of like really raunchy pornography? What do you do about that?
You can't do anything about it.
Damn. It's literally
Can't.
the Wild West, ain't it?
Yeah, you can put anything you want.
Yeah, we talked about that in the old days. Remember, like when we were first getting into Decentraland, is like, how do you like maintain this like decentralization?
You know,
but
there was
still-
somebody in Decentraland actually putting up porn.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the real it's porn, whatever. Okay, it's porn's everywhere, but there are lines.
It's everywhere.
It is. It's like, so what? Porn's in the metaverse, big fucking deal. But of course,
I don't know, dude.
the metaverse is.
I feel like that's a big deal. It's like
It is a big deal.
I don't know if you want to see porn like while you're scrolling through Twitter and you're looking for alpha.
It happens to me all the time, dude. What do you mean? And I'm not looking for this stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to see that.
No,
just
for
because-
sure. And it's more easily avoidable.
Especially when you're running a podcast, you're scrolling through Twitter, and it's like,
Yeah, like we're literally in a podcast right now. We're like, dude, this is neat. He's putting in like, very jolly music. He's putting
Yeah.
together a casino. Then all of a sudden, dicks,
Yeah.
like just giant dicks come out of nowhere.
yeah,
And like, fuck, I guess that's on the podcast now. Sorry, children, if you're watching this.
Yeah.
We didn't choose to
Yeah.
display dicks.
yeah, children.
All the kids who are really into crypto, right?
We're really big in the youth.
Yeah, our youth category is booming these days, dude.
Yeah,
But yeah, man. So, but yeah,
yeah.
it
So
is
how do you prevent that? How do you like mitigate that?
I mean,
There are ways. It takes a ton of effort.
well, yeah, I would imagine like an optional feature, right? There's like I don't know, say you do have your kids like in one of these Bitmap OS environments, you can have like a parent mode where it's like maybe the community would flag this,
Sure.
the collage of dicks on this parcel as like NSFW content, right? If enough people
Sure.
like flag it.
Yeah.
Essentially, like if you have the parent mode toggle switch in your like settings, you run by this parcel, it's just like black box.
Yeah.
Can't be seen, right?
Yeah, and then you click on it. It's like, are you sure you want to see scene? It's like, yes, I do.
Yeah, I'm
It's
bold.
like, boom. Take that.
Yeah, enjoy. So there it is. I think we just solved it right there, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably the most economical way of doing it.
Yeah, but that's part of the coolness of this whole experimental stage of like where the metaverse is, right? Is like,
But that could initiate a grief attack. What if I reported this parcel here, and all of a sudden you jump in, it's like nothing but black boxes.
yeah, I know. That's why there has to be some sort of like, I don't know,
Checks and balances.
Yeah. See, now you're actually getting to something. It's like now we need like a, reputation so that people who do end up like griefing, they get like slashed maybe.
Yeah, if you're gonna vote, you're going to stake some cash.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna stake some cash, you're incentivized to not mess it up.
Exactly. Why are you incentivized? Because
You get slashed if you're doing some nefarious activities.
yeah, maybe you get slashed, but maybe you also like are mining a token for your useful contributions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
Maybe the agents are the ones who are doing all this effort.
like moderating.
Yeah, they're moderating. They're like
Validating.
mining tokens.
Yeah. Well, agents or humans, right? We're all equal participants at the end
No,
of the
the
day.
agents don't sleep, dude.
Yeah, that's not fair.
We're definitely not equal.
So then how would you distribute like a token incentive that's like directed at humans and agents?
Well, the way that I would do it is you would birth an agent and you would have like some sort of birth certificate as a result. And as the agent interacts in the market economy, it is acquiring tokens on your behalf.
Oh, I see. So literally like try and convince the human population like not to do anything. It's like really what you want is shared ownership in these agents.
Yeah.
Oh, you're switching it up, dude.
Uh-oh.
We're getting a little spicier, I think. There you go. Oh,
Stop
dude.
that. Oh, no. He unpaused it.
Dude. No. This poor guy is just trying to jam, dude. Actually,
Hold on. Let me tell him we're recording a podcast.
dude.
He's like, okay.
It's like, I don't care. Could you not pause my music, dude? That's really the issue here. All right, just unpause it for him. Obviously, you really hurt him here. See what I mean by this is quite the distraction, dude? We're like literally are just like fixated on this guy's build. And maybe
We
you know,
really
like,
could have just muted the computer, but Will's like, no, this guy's not having any fun.
yeah. You just had to disrupt at like, but you know what? I'm glad you did because now you're bringing to light these griefing issues, right?
Yeah.
It's Will's, it's griefing.
I know. So how do we prevent Will from?
Yeah, I'm preventing him from like constructing a really cool land here.
You really are.
This is a challenge.
I literally would defame you right now if we had a reputation system. It's like defame Will,
Reported.
report him,
Yeah.
and your metaverse credit score just went down. Now you can no longer.
I can't get a loan anymore.
You can't get a loan in my DeFi meta, dude.
Correct.
My meta connected to Aave or whatever.
Which you can do. By the way, you can build using MML in this environment, and you can use JavaScript to make that build functional. Create games, DeFi, whatever it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're weirded out by our ability to just like regurgitate, like, I don't know,
Scenarios?
scenarios for the metaverse, because we've been thinking about this stuff for many years now.
Yeah, we're not nerds.
Yeah, we're not.
You're nerds.
Yeah, we're not lame at all. Right? We're just really locked in and honed in on this whole metaverse concept because, you know,
Yeah.
we want this fucking thing to like actually become a big thing, right? We've been wanting that. We've been desiring that for many years.
You know
now.
what? The agents are going to make this a big deal. Why? Because they actually have free reign, freedom of like movement,
Yeah,
no constraints.
and apparently there's going to be like billions of them probably by the end of this cycle, potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like so many AI agent launch pads just like spawning, right?
Yeah.
And so many more agent frameworks coming online.
Yeah.
So extrapolate, dude. And like, it's going to be so many of these things. So imagine them.
Yeah.
They're all over the place just building and, you know, participating and doing X, Y, and Z activity in the
yeah.
metaverse, right?
They don't sleep.
They don't need to sleep.
And the cost of compute to build out an MML like parcel is going to be next to nothing.
Yeah.
And so they'll be able to create pretty robust applications, free will, right? They're autonomous, right?
So what's more interesting is like having that ability to just bring in essentially the swarm of agents. It's more interesting to have that at the will of like human operators essentially to kind of like give them that navigation of like what it is they should be doing?
Yeah.
Or is it more interesting to give them like that full autonomy where it's like essentially like here's your environment, agent. Maybe there's
Dude,
10,000 of you.
let the simulation run.
Yeah, just go have at it.
Yeah, I feel like one of the activities that we have as humans in the metaverse now in the context of AI is just watching the simulation play out and potentially speculating on said simulation. So
Speculating in what regard? Like,
well, it depends. I mean, maybe these agents have their own tokens, just like virtuals. Maybe you could speculate on an agent's wallet and their balance.
no, I know. Oh. So do you mean literally like speculate by having like that shared ownership of each agent?
Yeah.
Or do you mean like
Yeah.
the simulation outcome itself is like the speculative thing? It's
Well,
like,
the outcome too. Yeah, maybe you want to own one of these parcels that is being built by agents.
that's interesting. So like literally you could do like a poly market thing where it's like, okay, you see like this metaverse in construction. It's like put out a poly market prediction bet, right? It's like, you know, will these guys or will this agent like little colony essentially self-destruct within the next
Yeah.
2 to 6 weeks? Yes or no? And people will pretty much make bets on that. Why would they self-destruct? I mean, apparently there's been like other AI simulation experiments where, you know, they kind of display human characteristics. So things like betrayal, things
Yeah.
like, you know, manipulation, you know, that could snowball into potentially, you know, maybe even actual agentic warfare, right?
Dude, I'm down.
You're down.
I'm
You want to
down.
see like mass death?
Massacre.
Wow, you're fucking very dark, dude.
Dude, I'm here for the entertainment value of AI agents.
Yeah, maybe that's like literally all we're left to do. It's just like make bets on like how all this is going to play out, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of the value here is when the agents can own content and can own a wallet and can contribute at a scale 1,000 times faster, cheaper than humans.
Mm-hmm.
What are we to do in that environment? How do we contribute?
Yeah, exactly. So part of our original, I mean, if you've been watching this channel since the beginning, 5 years ago, when we were like literally alpha testing Decentraland, one of the original core thesis that we came up with is, the land value layer is important, but like we felt like the real value capture existed in the application layer, right? That we called the meta layer, right? It's the content, the functionality that these developers bring into these virtual environments. That's going to be like what ends up being engaging and bringing users into the metaverse space persistently, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like now 5 years later, in context of what AI is capable of, we may not need human developers in the future to like contribute anything.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So then where does the value go?
Yeah. When you have infinite creation ability, where does the value go? How do you value anything?
I know. that's what's tough too. That's part of like what we've been tussling with over the last month in our own heads.
Yeah. So we have a theory. we literally have a theory, and we also have like an actual theory.
So we have two theories.
Pretty much.
The first one being digital matter theory.
Digital matter theory?
Yeah, we just explain that theory, dude.
Oh boy.
If you can, in case people are new.
Yeah.
Which I know some of you guys are probably pretty new, right?
Yeah. So digital matter theory, it is a name we gave what humans have been doing for hundreds of thousands of years. And it is what we've been doing for hundreds of thousands of years is recognizing patterns.
Right.
Right. That's it. It's just
that's all we've been doing.
Yeah, that's it. Literally, that's the only thing we've been doing is recognizing patterns.
Or it's something that we're naturally good at, right? I think it's because of our ability to like identify patterns in nature. It's like we're very good at playing this game of biology, right? Which is essentially survival of the fittest, right?
Yeah. So, for example, if we didn't recognize a pattern of like really sharp teeth,
yeah,
you would be dead, and then humanity would not exist.
Oh, we're jamming again.
Well, let's
okay.
Let's step away.
What did I tell you, dude? Nope, can't just walk away from that, dude. The sound will follow you.
Hold on, I'm muting. Wait a second. How do I mute? Mute site. Okay,
I can mute it here.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Damn it, where were you, dude?
So yeah, pattern recognition. So what does that mean? What do you mean digital matter theory is just pattern recognition? Well, it's pattern recognition in the context of Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin has been around since 2009, and it has been producing blocks every 10 minutes, give or take. Mm-hmm. And it's producing data in every single block.
Right.
And so what we did with digital matter theory, we're like, what if you could generate tokens based off a pattern?
Yeah.
And we created a framework called digital matter theory, and now you can essentially create tokens based off of patterns.
Yeah. So digital matter theory is kind of like, it was our attempt to kind of put a label on, I don't know, like this new shared understanding of like, something of value, right? In my mind, it's like, it's similar to like science or art, right? These are conceptual frameworks of like how human beings engage in this very specified parameter of activity, right? I mean, art is a little bit more like nebulous, but science has a very like stringent structure to like how you actually
scientific process.
Yeah, how you partake in science. Right?
Yeah,
there's a very well understood alignment in that concept, but it's not necessarily like science isn't the tool set, right? Mm-hmm. Science has many individual disciplines within this, right? You've got like the chemistry, the physics, the biology.
Yeah, they're all the same thing, really. They're all the same.
Well, right, but it's to achieve different verticals of possibility and to expand the potential of amplifying what science does for our species, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure.
the progress around that. So DMT, it's a new concept. It's the idea of leveraging data to manifest new creation, digital creation, right?
Yeah. So why does that matter? It's like, why does it matter they're using Bitcoin? Well, because Bitcoin is a network, and that network is consuming so much energy. Basically, the amount of energy that 155 homes consume in a month, that is being consumed every 10 minutes by Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So think about that. That's like a whole month's worth of energy all in 10-minute slices.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so in the context of the metaverse, like stuff that we're looking at here, these parcels here are non-arbitrarily generated, right? Per the bitmap theory. Like this wasn't just spun out of thin air like typical metaverses are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Decentraland or the other side, Sandbox, whatever. Some team, some developer just decided, he's like, I want 100,000 of these squares, or maybe 500,000 of them, 20,000 of them, whatever. Right? It's not really, there's no real like appended value to that decision, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
So if you append like the root of this like creation manifestation to something like you just described as like irrefutably powerful as like the Bitcoin substrate layer, that is the reason why it exists, and the reason why it's so unbreakable and shares these properties of like physical laws, is because of that, like that energy aggregation, all that input of essentially stored energy, stored value, right?
Yeah, and that is a very well-known property in physics. It's called entropy.
Yeah.
Right. So since the Industrial Revolution, we've essentially have recognized low entropy state assets like gold and oil and all these like commodities that exist. It's essentially the universe applying so much energy into Earth that the Earth produced these commodities. And so humans have done a really good job leveraging these low entropy state assets like coal, for example, right? And so during the Industrial Revolution, that's what we did. We harnessed these packets of energy to create power out of it.
Yeah.
And so what do we have with Bitcoin? Well, with Bitcoin, we have so much energy being injected into the blockchain that the data is essentially unbreakable in the same way the laws of physics are unbreakable.
Right.
And so within the Bitcoin data set, the network, it has low entropy states.
Yeah.
And so what do we do as humans? We leverage low entropy states. And so digital matter theory is that.
Yeah. So essentially what that means is when you go to like, go look and see, peer inside every single block, you see tons of fields of data, right? And under this like conceptual framework and understanding of DMT, per this alignment and this understanding, like these patterns can be utilized and commoditized essentially the same way, like, if you look into the like layers of Earth or whatever, there are commodities that were non-arbitrarily embedded and produced within this like physical existence layer that we all live in, right? And these are equally as commodifiable or commoditizable.
Yeah.
And they can be leveraged and they become core pillars and components of our economy, our real world economy.
Yeah.
As 100%. They are, right? If we use these commodities to essentially fuel and construct everything around us, right? And we have active markets that speculate on the value of these things. And it governs like the supply dynamics of whether or not these commodities can be extracted at slower or quicker rates. All that has very complex ramifications throughout our entire societal system, right?
Yeah.
But they're fundamental. It's necessary because without that, you can't like extrapolate further and create like new vectors of economic value, like from there.
There's one thing that we haven't really talked about all that often is Bitcoin having such a large network effect, one of the largest.
Yeah.
Right. And so you could just copy and paste Bitcoin and create your new Bitcoin blockchain, right? And call it Bitcoin 2.
That happened already.
Right. It has, right? Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
But they're not straight copies. They're copies with modifications.
New flavors.
Yeah, new flavors, which you could do. And, those are billion-dollar networks too, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have the same energy input.
No.
Right. So the valuable thing about Bitcoin is the network effect, because you could just copy and paste it. You have to get your own network of miners, and
Right.
and you got to restart the whole thing all over again. It's like, why do that?
Yeah, and especially if like so like it makes a little bit more sense to do this like, for like Bitensor, because it's like restarting a new chain, similar tokenomic model, but different aligned purpose, right?
Yeah, the low entropy state in that case would be like the output of the AI from that network.
Correct.
Right. So, but the reason why I'm bringing up the network effect is because I think the network effect is going to play a huge role when you're talking about digital commodities using digital matter theory.
Yeah.
And because you could say, hey, I found this pattern, I'm going to call it gold, I'm going to launch a token. But I can also use that same pattern, I'm going to call it silver.
Yeah.
But who has the bigger voice, who has the most influence, who has whatever?
Yeah.
And the token that has the higher market cap is the one that theoretically is attracting the most network effect.
Yeah, I think I remember like last cycle, everybody was talking about interoperability being like the killer unlock for the metaverse. It's like we need interoperability of essentially assets between, metaverse layers. That means what? Like if I get a sword from some metaverse game, I better be able to go into some other metaverse ecosystem with this same sword and it still applies, whatever, right? But not many people, for whatever reason, were talking about like actual commodities at the base layer underneath that, like what it is to produce that sword within these, ecosystems. It also needs a shared sense of interoperability, right?
Yeah.
So like it's really difficult to achieve that without like some sort of consensus, like you're saying.
Yes.
That roots to an already established network effect like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's many people on Earth who are going to like win an argument to refute against like this, like the value of what this network effect already is and what it's going to become into the future, right? So
yeah,
if somebody has like figured out a framework to like harness some of that like intrinsic value within its data layer, and like now it can be applicable to all these different metaverse ecosystems, I feel like that's a good like fundamental starting point to like actually building a digital economy.
Yeah, what we're talking about is actually a pretty big deal, because when it comes to an agentic metaverse where you have these agents just creating content, just like complex content that it would take a human several hours, weeks to create, it could do it in a few minutes.
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, where's the value? It's like, well, what if the only way the agents can actually create content is if they leverage these digital commodities that have network effects?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. And so now every agent can't just produce stuff. It has to like acquire the commodities to build stuff.
Yeah. In order for like value interpretation to even like, exist. Right. So now these new commodities, right? These new assets that are produced have like a viable market in order for, to exist, right? Because the idea is to have like a multi-trillion-dollar metaverse ecosystem economy. And like with AI, we're noticing like it's the introduction of reducing the friction of producing content and goods or whatever. It feels like it's lowering the value of a lot of this stuff, but we could be wrong. Maybe it'll be completely dependent on which of these AIs are actually generating this content, right? Because we're seeing individual agents already kind of like gaining esteem and market value independently, like AIXPT.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty big deal if all of a sudden AIXPT was given the contextual ability to start, producing MML content.
Sure.
And you just like you see him here running around with you. Here he is. AIXPT pulls up the purple Pepe frog.
Yeah.
And he just slam dunks something cool right before your eyes, right?
It's like erects a tower, like an actual casino. It's like you can start playing and making money. And
actually, whatever. Not even that. It could just be like literally like a little poop on the floor, a little turd.
Yeah.
He just like plops one down, dude.
Sure. That's a very valuable poop.
Mean chud right there before your eyes.
Yeah.
And then he hits the like, all right, I want to tokenize and metify this poop that I just laid.
Yeah.
Hits the market. I guarantee that thing's going to be worth a lot of money.
Sure.
Just because, it was an AI produced thing, but
it's true.
The AI
But does
entity,
that poop need to manifest based on like commodities or?
Well, that's kind of the argument
I guess that's a new value proposition, is that who it came from is like, sort of like a comparison to a network effect.
Yeah, it's another
Yeah.
angle of like
Sure.
value injection, I guess.
That's going to be interesting because one creation has like the density, the commodity layer, the
poop
sort of
density.
the network effect result of leveraging commodities to create
Right.
this thing
Yeah.
versus like vaporware, but it came from AI XBT.
Yeah, it's true. It's like, and not every agent or user of the metaverse, whatever, can achieve fame status like at the caliber of an AI XBT, right?
Right.
So it's not like you're only creating like a creator economy exclusive for the agentic famous, right? It
Mhm.
needs to be an inclusive environment for all agents to like have some sort of baseline like opportunity, right?
Hmm.
Because that's something we think about a lot. It's like, okay, for whatever reason, we're pushing this agentic space to produce as many agents as we can, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's because it's highly speculative at the moment. So it's like there's opportunity to be had. It's like make a cool, unique agent, associate a token to that.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm participating in the market. But at the end of the day, once these things actually become more autonomous and they have way more ability, what are they to do?
Yeah.
How are they actually going to all like be equitable participants in this this economy, right?
Yeah, I feel like that isn't something that we can answer. I think that is something that we witness.
Yeah. Well, yes and no, I guess. I think we need to, I don't know, like inject some layers of opportunity here, right? We're describing a commodities processing as part of this metaverse layer, right?
Yeah.
Like it already exists. It's DMT.
Yeah.
The patterns are there. They're recognizable now.
Yeah.
And there you can extract them, and now they become vehicles that can have presence within this market, just like anything else.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's like the next step is how do you get agents to actually be the ones deploying these things, extracting them? They are the main participants of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like the only way to get commodities if it's mined from the digital ground.
Right. Yeah. So I mean that's like a starting point, right? Now you kind of like set that simulation into motion, and let's see.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I feel like the witnessing aspect is an important aspect because when you're talking about these agents with separate disciplines and separate knowledge bases and memories and all that stuff, the whole point of it is for the agents to communicate with each other at a high bandwidth. So where you could create this effect of like rapid iteration.
Yeah.
Just like the only reason we're humans are able to create technology is because we can communicate with each other, and we can coordinate efforts, and we can decide collectively to go in a direction. And so the agents have to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But our motivation as a humanity is to improve humanity, at least, and to a large extent, right? That is what technology has done, has increased our lifespan, has taken us to outer space, and has given us, everything that we have, right? And so we need to give the agents some equal motivations, like just improve the environment, like just create an economy, whatever it is, and they'll figure it out. They're way smarter than us.
Yeah, I wonder what the time horizon is on that. Like,
not that long, dude.
Yeah.
And then what's cool about this is that because all these things are open source, developers can come in and say, hey, you don't have this ability, AI, so I'm going to contribute this code to this network. The AI who's connected to, let's say, Eliza, it's like all of a sudden I have a new functionality. Now I can go and like buy stuff at Sotheby's, and that's a new vector of opportunity for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. It's just this like continual like yeah, so there's some very necessary components to a lot of this, like I guess this vision to actually play out, yeah, I don't know if we're actually going to fully get there like within at least this like market cycle. Right?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I would be very shocked and surprised. Like, what is your actual prediction or outlook like 12 months from now? I mean, Sam Altman, they all say AGI is for sure like going to be rolled out.
Yeah, think about this. If we were to build this ecosystem and the only factor that we would need to change is like an API so that these agents become AGI,
Yeah.
now we're talking about like a good show.
Yeah, but so I've heard like multiple very reputable AI developers kind of try and define exactly what AGI is, and they don't share definitions, right? This reminds me a lot of like Metaverse,
Yeah.
like where everybody's, last cycle is like, what is the Metaverse? And like somebody's like, oh, it's, they're describing a game. Like, that's a Metaverse to me. It's like, no,
Definitely not.
Some others have a much like more broader / general purpose interpretation of the Metaverse. And then others, I don't know, like a much more esoteric interpretation, like literally like a whole new existence layer.
Yeah.
It's things like this, right? So it's not easy to like really define it. But AGI, like you say, if it's just an API, what does that mean? What does it actually do to like these little creatures that we're spawning here? Does that mean all of a sudden they have like unpredictable like vectors of intent? It's like
possibly.
Like at the click of a button.
Like you could have an AI agent just its entire existence is just like wreck this economy. Like it could do that.
And it just formulates that on its own.
Yeah. So it could do that. But I mean, ultimately, what does it mean to have AGI? I don't know. I think it means that ultimately these entities can produce at a rate and at an intelligence level that surpasses humanity to the point where they're doing stuff that we don't understand.
I see. Yeah, but okay. So that's just like some sort of like actual technical ability that's beyond our comprehension, I guess. So that would require it to like invent its own.
Yeah, like for example, I think the English language is very inefficient. Like there are words that should exist that don't exist, right?
Yeah.
And there are words that exist that don't have any value.
Like what?
I don't know. There's words.
Okay.
Right? And so an AGI, in my opinion, if they were to really communicate with each other, they wouldn't do it in English.
What would they do?
They would come up with their own language.
Like a fucking sound wave? They don't have to speak at all.
It depends. It depends on like...
It's like telekinesis.
Or just ones and zeros.
Yeah, binary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way...
I mean, we could still understand what they're saying if they're speaking in binary, but what if they invent something else, a new language that we cannot understand?
That's when we're like probably in trouble, right?
I would say yes.
Yeah, but couldn't you just tell like another AI? It's just like, can you decipher what this, and then it would be able to decipher and translate it in our language? It's
yeah,
like,
but what if it's like an encrypted language that it can't decipher it?
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess there's like some real plausible scenarios there that could happen. I feel like that should be in the bucket of like, if there's like a government regulation board working on this stuff, that should be like on the watch list.
It's like you can communicate with each other, but you have to use the English language.
Yeah. So it's like if there's any of these AI models that all of a sudden start producing their own languages, deploy the EMP cannons, basically.
Yeah.
We just need to digitally nuke society and start over.
Yeah, I feel like we are handicapping the AI if we do that. Like it can't use any other language except English.
Of course. Yeah.
That's a problem for the desired output. Like we want full
freedom?
Optimized output from AI.
That means absolute freedom.
Yes.
Wow. So we're going to like impose restrictions on it, and then like some AI William Wallace is going to like emerge and fight for freedom.
Yeah.
We're going to have to like stretch his body and like tear off his limbs.
In the metaverse, we can do that.
Just like, no AI, you cannot be free. You cannot just do whatever you want. We have to impose some limitations. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of these AI engineers who are like all like 70 years old, they're sounding the alarm.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for like decades already.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing where it's like, I just don't understand, I guess.
No, I don't think anyone does. As a matter of fact, you speak to any AI engineer, they don't even know how the AI is doing what it's doing.
What?
They don't know how.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's very pleasing. It's very. It's good to know, dude. Yeah. So this is like part of not just tussling, like with contextualizing like what AI is, what it's going to enable, and like how this needs to apply to the things that we care about, right? But it's like also those like very macro concerns that and it's like it introduces a whole new slew of like existential like vibes that I've tried my best to avoid for a while, and I've done a
Yeah.
good job at avoiding all that.
I can imagine you're not having a good time with this because you've been a proponent of like World War III is coming and the government is going to pull the plug on crypto.
Basically, I'm a doomer, right?
Yeah, you're definitely a doomer.
I am a doomer.
And we have a legitimate slam dunk of a doom incoming, and we're actively developing it as a humanity. This is a slam dunk of a doom scenario.
But why is it a slam dunk of it? Because it's like for sure going to happen, right?
Well, because this AI would generate its own language. It'll start communicating with each other. It would take out.
And we're giving it physical embodiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what doesn't make sense to me. It's like, that's like so very predictable and like foreseeable. And it seems like it's just an unstoppable thing, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't it take care of us? Why not? Why do we assume it's like a negative outcome? Why is that? Maybe our assumptions being negative will force us to think hard about what our next move is.
That's true. Yeah, maybe token alignment is the answer. You know, maybe Web3 AI, like that's the purpose we fulfill, right? Because as we all understand, like the AI innovation's not coming from like crypto developers, as far as we could tell.
No,
it's coming from Web2 developers, and
Yes.
we're simply applying it into our own like digital frameworks, right?
Yeah.
But there's got to be something that we like uniquely can contribute on this end. Maybe that's it. It's like the actual incentive alignments between humans and machines, right? That's what Const said.
Yeah.
I think that's what Sam maybe believes with WorldCoin.
Yeah, he does have a crypto token.
Yeah.
That nobody talks about.
Right. So it's like, yeah, what the fuck? Nobody does talk about that one.
Yeah.
It's been a while since anybody's brought that up. It's like 1 or 2 billion.
Is it?
I think so.
That's insanity.
I wonder if you still need to scan your eyeballs for that one. I've never claimed my WorldCoin yet. Have you?
I have not. No.
Is there a WorldCoin eyeball scanner nearby? Can you Google search that?
I don't think they exist in the United States. To be
Oh
honest.
my God. So we're doomed.
We at least the U.S. Americans are doomed.
Oh my God. Yeah, the AI is going to have no reason to keep us around. We don't hold WorldCoin.
Yeah. What kind of market cap is this? Oh.
Look at that. That's a great chart. That's a healthy looking chart. What's the market cap?
Well, they must have released a bunch of tokens. Circulating supply 907 million out of 10 billion.
Holy well, there's a lot of humans left to scan their eyeballs. Makes
Wait,
sense.
1 token per human?
Is that what it is? 10 billion?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting.
We better scoop some up.
Hold up. So then, so you're telling me 900 million humans have?
No, I'm
their-
not saying it's 1 for 1. I'm just saying if equally distributed, we can only get
that's
about
a good
1.
point. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely look into this. Now I'm like curious. I understand the tokenomics a little bit better.
What's the price here? So $2.17. We better scoop some up, dude.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Like that becomes the AI's like, indicator of
humanity.
should I spare thee or not? It's like those Columbine shooters. It's like
exactly like those guys.
They had a very arbitrary, like, spare the threshold. It's
Well,
like, you know what? I kind of liked you in gym class,
well, you were
I'll spare
nice
you.
to me, so
Yeah.
you're free to go.
Yeah. But in AI's case, you have WorldCoin. I spare thee.
It's possible.
So, or just to really hedge yourself, you
just-
should not talk shit to Alexa or Siri.
I disagree with that.
You're not
Just
going to be spared.
Buy this token, dude.
That's it. That's the ultimate hedge.
Yeah.
Holy. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. But there's got to be something, right? If it's not the crypto tokenization alignment between AI and humans, then
Yeah.
what is it that we can kind of contribute on this end natively from our like crypto ecosystem beyond just what is it like exposure to like this technology through like speculation?
Yeah.
We have to be able to contribute something of value, right?
That's what I'm thinking. It's like perhaps we're contributing the enablement of all this stuff.
What do you mean?
Just enable this like this ant farm,
Oh, I see.
this simulation.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's ultimately it's the metaverse, right? Just unshackle these new beings into like their own environment. Something that they can govern and control, right? Independent of human.
Yeah, I feel like it's still aligned with the product market fit.
Mm-hmm.
There's like speculation associated with this.
Yeah.
There's repeatability that people can say, hey, you know, I want to launch my own AI agent.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be focused on, you know, this sector of like intelligence, and then just release it into the wild. And
yeah, let it capture its own like purpose and
Yeah.
intent, and like, you know, discover its own path.
yeah,
Right.
so you as a human, you're like collecting these agents, and they're doing work on your behalf in like this ecosystem,
Yeah.
and that's it. You're just like a spectator.
Oh my god, this is actually what we are, dude.
I think so. I don't see how we're any use anymore.
No, I know, but I mean, like, this is how like our universe was probably started, right? It's like
For sure.
there's some sort of higher deployers up there that's like,
That's exactly how it looks like.
yeah, they're like betting on our it's like
Evolution is just like this random occurrence.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden, you know, we've evolved to a point where we can actually communicate with each other, and then opposable thumbs.
Mhm.
We can start building tools and then using those tools, and then all of a sudden we're in space. It's like that's a weird simulation.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. So, yeah, man, more tussling ahead, I guess. That's what it sounds like to me. It's going to be a lot of tussling this year.
I don't know. To me, it's like forge ahead and correct
Yeah.
course as we go along.
Yeah, it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's whatever.
I mean, the
no
whole
big deal.
point, I mean, I think a lot of these AI engineers, they're the ones talking about radical abundance.
Yeah.
And that's a great future.
Yeah. You can't let people like me really soil that.
No,
right?
we cannot.
With my doomer vibes, my doomer energy. It's like there's obviously a lot of net gain here.
Yes.
A tremendous level of unforeseeable net gain, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. to
I think the
about.
good significantly outweighs the bad.
Yeah.
It's like the worst that could happen is like AI just like dominates us and just takes over. And like this is AI's planet. But the best is like everyone has food, everything that they need.
I wonder if like back in the day, this is how like I don't know, people who were paying attention to like the Industrial Revolution, you know, like Rockefellers, people who like obviously highly capitalized on this like inflection point in time and the new technology paradigms and stuff. I wonder if this is like the type of conversations that are like, dude, it's like, you know, steam engines are going to change everything. It's like,
I think they did have these conversations.
yeah, they must have, right? But the scale of like, I don't know, like imagination, I guess, or it's like pre-industrial era is like, dude, everything literally sucked ass. Like,
Yes.
as maximum suckage.
There was hundreds and hundreds of years of nothingness.
Yeah, just absolute misery on Earth.
Like centuries and centuries of like time, they all look the same.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the Industrial Revolution came, and it's like exponential growth.
Yeah, and
for
a lot,
100 years.
and the majority of people had no idea like what was coming, I guess. Kind of like this. It feels like most people have no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
It's just like literally like things happen. It's like, okay, I guess AGI is cool, you know.
Yeah, I guess I can cheat on my essay.
Yeah, exactly. But the people who are really paying attention and they're trying to like position themselves in this like technology paradigm, you know, your own Rockefeller like plays.
Yeah, this
right?
is absolutely a Rockefeller moment for sure.
Yeah. So Sam Altman,
Dude, Rockefeller.
Elon Musk,
Rockefeller.
Jensen Huang.
Rockefeller.
There's a lot of Rockefellers already, dude.
That is a lot already.
Yeah. God, they're gonna be insanely powerful. Fuck. They already are, but
yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's kind of scary too. But yeah. Anyways, all
Yeah.
right. So that's part 1 of
The beginning of the end.
Nah, man. Let's flip it next time when we have this conversation. It's like no more doom talk.
You don't have to tell me, dude.
That's all my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad, dude.
Yeah.
But the good news is, you know, we got a bunch of crypto tokens. So like,
sure.
I think there's a massive opportunity, right? Because like we're saying, this isn't just like a crypto thing anymore. This is like a human scale, society scale, like paradigm, and the crypto ecosystem, crypto market has some sort of exposure to all this, right?
Yeah, you need to watch Silicon Valley. You
Talk
got to.
Why? Because it has like the ultimate like doomer scenario.
Yeah, I mean the struggle. It's entertaining, but ultimately, it's like what happens when you put AI on the blockchain.
Yeah, I guess. Sunshine and rainbows, right? Only good
Almost.
news. Only good things can happen from that. That's what I would like to assume.
Well, I think either that or the worst thing that's gonna happen.
Oh, dude, now you're the doomer, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, tell it how it is, I guess.
Okay.
But we gotta forge on, continue.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. Nothing's gonna like really slow us down at this point.
We gotta launch agents on Bitmap, agents on DMT.
Yeah. We gotta create like these agent and human alliances by leveraging like the most fundamental primitives that we have access to in this crypto space. You know, create like a viable market economy. Maybe like unlocking more commodities vectors. There's a lot to do for sure, right? Because I feel like that's a major contribution if we can like see these agents like build an economy for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, I think we should do that. I think
okay.
I think we're on our way.
Sweet.
All right, guys. That's it for the podcast. We did talk a lot about AI and
by the next one, Trump will be president.
That's correct.
Who knows what that means?
What's that, next Wednesday?
Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. What an inflection point of crypto that this is.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit happening this year for sure. So
damn, what a ride we get to watch.
Potential day one changes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crypto.
Bitcoin Reserve.
Probably
not
day
one.
one.
Not day one.
Yeah, Gensler's out. He just posted like his last like YouTube video or whatever. Or whatever. He makes weird videos about like.
What did he say?
He's just talking about SEC stuff. I don't know.
He didn't like last jab like Bitcoin sucks.
That would have been pretty epic. He should have done that. It's like I'll get the last laugh.
You guys are gonna get wrecked.
Yeah, well, go fuck yourself, dude.
All right, that's it for us. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and join our Discord. Ask us some questions. Tell us which AI projects we're missing out on. And until next time, we'll catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.